What if every time you scroll past a profit screenshot, your brain loses IQ? Not metaphorically, literally. Neuroscientists discovered something terrifying. When you compare yourself to others' success, especially financial success, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logic, temporarily shuts down. In its place, the limbic system takes over the same part responsible for fight, flight, and FOMO. Let me tell you a quick story. A trader named Marco. 6 months in, he's cautious, methodical, up 12%. Then, one night, he stumbles onto a viral Twitter thread, turned $1 K into $110 K in 2 weeks. Screenshots, Lambo emojis, follower count, 96K. In the next 24 hours, Marco takes 11 trades. No plan, just vibes. His account, down 27%. That viral post didn't just distract him. It rewired him. That's what FOMO does. And it's not your fault. Social trading platforms, leaderboard culture, even the YouTube algorithm, they are all engineered to hijack your brain. But today, we're hijacking it back. Let's be real. You don't need another video telling you not to chase green candles. You need to understand why your fingers still hover over the buy button, even when you know better. Because it's not a lack of knowledge that's killing your account. It's the mental warfare happening every time you open Instagram, TradingView, or Reddit. One moment you're focused, calm, disciplined. Then you scroll past a trader posting plus $6,400 before breakfast, and your brain snaps. You tell yourself you're not comparing. You tell yourself it's just motivation. But deep down, you feel it. Why not me? That's not inspiration. That's the beginning of self-destruction. FOMO doesn't just nudge your strategy, it corrupts it. And before you know it, you're not trading your edge, you're trading your emotions, your insecurities, your imagined status. Welcome to Disciplined Trade S, the place where we unlearn the dopamine traps, rewrite the inner dialogue, and reprogram your brain to trade like the top 1%. Because the truth is, your trading isn't broken. Your psychology is hijacked, and this channel is your firewall. In this video, you'll learn 6 psychological rewires that dismantle FOMO at the source. These aren't mindset hacks. They're battle-tested mental upgrades used by real traders who stopped bleeding money and started printing consistency. Each rewire is built from neuroscience, behavioral psychology, and real-world stories from funded traders. And wait till you hear Insight 6. It's the method that helped one trader cut their overtrading by 70% in just 14 days. It didn't just save his account, it saved his confidence. So if you've ever entered a trade just because someone else posted gains, scrolled social media during your prep window, felt sick seeing others win while you're in drawdown, then this video was made for you. This is the one you bookmark, the one you journal through, the one that finally puts words to the war in your head. But first, answer me this in the comments. What was the last trade you took because someone else made it look easy? No judgment, just radical self-awareness. Let's begin. Insight 1. The dopamine trap here's a hard truth. Your brain isn't built to handle modern trading platforms. It's wired for survival, not strategy. It doesn't differentiate between a lion in the jungle and a green candle flashing on your screen. Every time you see a trader post profits, your brain doesn't go, nice, that's a data point. It goes, status threat, react now. Let me explain. When you see another trader winning, it activates the dopaminergic reward system in your brain, the same pathway triggered by drugs, gambling, and sex. It's primal, it's fast, it's irrational. But here's the dangerous twist. Studies from Stanford University show that anticipated rewards spike dopamine even more than received ones. This means your brain is not only reacting to someone else's success, it's fantasizing about your potential gain. So when you see someone else win, your brain tricks you into believing you're missing out on your own reward. And missing out doesn't feel neutral. It feels like loss. Neurologically, you're not watching someone win, you're experiencing yourself lose. Your nervous system goes into overdrive. Your breathing changes, your logic fades. This is what creates the dopamine trap. Spike, urge to act, no trade, emotional tension, random trade, momentary relief, regret, cycle restarts. It's not about discipline. It's about chemical dependency on anticipation. Case study. A prop firm coach analyzed the trade logs of 200 funded traders. The traders with the most FOMO trades also had the highest number of trades immediately following a social media session. The average loss, 3.4 R per impulsive entry. But more importantly, their confidence recovery time, how long it took to get back to peak mental state, was almost 3 weeks longer. The fix? Dopamine fast before market open. Here's how. No social media 2 hours before trading. Yes, that includes Discord. Use a grayscale phone filter. It blunts dopamine hits and reduces screen urge. Start your session with boring, rule-based chart review, not price-chasing log 1, urge rating. Before every session, scale of 1-10, how impulsive do I feel? The goal isn't to eliminate dopamine, it's to contain it. Because dopamine is like fire, good in the fireplace, deadly in your hands. Reflection. When was the last time you took a trade you knew wasn't in your plan just to feel alive? What would have happened if you sat with that urge instead of feeding it? If that hits, drop a fire in the comments. Insight 2. The illusion of social proof. Have you ever taken a trade not because your system told you to, but because everyone else seemed to be in it? That's not intuition. That's social proof hijacking your logic. Let's break it down. Social proof is a cognitive bias where we assume the actions of others reflect correct behavior, especially under uncertainty. And in trading, uncertainty is constant. So when you see 15 traders long a ticker on Twitter, your brain says, well, they can't all be wrong. But here's the problem. Most of those people are also following someone else. And most don't disclose. Entry timing, stop loss, position size, risk context, your trading shadows, echoes of other people's incomplete plans. And every time you do it, your brain becomes less confident in your own edge. The research, a 2022 behavioral finance paper from the University of Zurich, found that traders exposed to high-frequency social signals, like real-time trade alerts, had a 39% decrease in strategy adherence within 30 minutes. Let that sink in. Exposure alone, just seeing others traded, destabilized execution. A true story. Jonas, a breakout trader, followed a popular chat room. One morning, someone called a small cap squeeze. He normally waited for confirmation, but everyone was already in. He jumped. The stock reversed hard. He doubled down. Margin call. He later realized it wasn't the setup that tricked him. It was the crowd. The fix? Reclaim decision ownership. No entering a trade unless it was already on your pre-session watch list. Add a why now. Filter write one sentence before entry. Why this trade? Why this moment? Track every trade's origin. Did it come from your plan or someone else's? Mute Discord, Twitter during live sessions. Bonus, create a leaderboard detox day once per week. No rankings, no posts, just charts. Because the more you outsource conviction, the weaker your execution becomes. Reflection. When was the last time you trusted someone else's setup more than your own? What would shift if you stopped needing social proof to believe in your edge? Drop AI if you felt this one. Insight 3. The phantom win effect. You ever felt a surge of excitement, even when you didn't take the trade? Just watched it run without you. But somehow you feel good, validated, smart. That's the phantom win effect. It's when your brain rewards you for being near a win, even if you didn't profit. And while it sounds harmless, it's psychologically toxic. Here's how it works. Your brain tags moments with dopamine not just for results, but for emotional proximity. So when you almost took that breakout or were watching someone else profit, your brain logs it as a win adjacent. The result? You lower your standard for actual execution. This is how FOMO sneaks in through the back door. You see a ticker run. Brain says, we got that one. You didn't trade it. Emotional high still hits. Now you believe I'm on fire. So you take the next setup with less discipline. It's dangerous because it inflates confidence without reinforcing actual process. The data. A behavioral economics lab found that participants who observed simulated market wins without trading became 46% more likely to enter riskier trades immediately after. Their conviction increased. Their selectivity decreased. Their performance dropped. A story: Tamir, a trader in a signal group, didn't take the trade, but he saw others win. He told himself, "Yup, I would have caught that too." Next trade, he jumped early. No confirmation. He lost 2R instantly. The market didn't punish his decision. It punished his illusion. The fix? Audit real versus phantom wins. Keep a phantom win log note anytime you feel FOMO or satisfaction from a trade you didn't take. At the end of the week, count them. What % of your confidence came from actual trades? Every time you feel tempted to log a mental win, write, "Did I execute my system?" Your goal isn't to feel good. It's to feel accurate. Because phantom wins breed real losses. Reflection: how many of your worst trades came right after a phantom win? What would shift if you only built confidence on execution, not emotion? Common yes if this one exposed a pattern. Insight 4. The slot machine effect. Why do traders keep pressing buy even after 5 losses in a row? Because your trading app was designed like a casino. Every flashing green candle, notification ping, and profit alert mimics the psychological mechanics of a slot machine. You know, it's probably not a high probability setup, but your brain says, just one more. It could be the big one. This is what behavioral scientists call variable reward reinforcement, a dopamine loop that's strongest when rewards are random, not consistent. Exactly like slots. Exactly like impulsive trading. A study from MIT found that intermittent reward schedules, rewards given unpredictably, cause lab monkeys to press a lever 300% more often than consistent reward schedules. Now swap the monkey for a trader. Swap the lever for your market buy button. Same loop. A trader named Lena had this pattern. Wins felt lucky. Losses felt personal. Every red trade made her need a green one to feel balanced. She wasn't trading setups. She was trading emotion cycles. And just like the slot machine addict, she believed, my next trade could be the jackpot. But she wasn't building edge. She was feeding addiction. The fix? Build friction into your trades. Here's how. Create a checklist you must complete before every entry. Print it, laminate it, keep it visible. Use a 3-minute timer between seeing a setup and acting on it. Rate your emotional state 110. Before pressing booyif, it's above 7. Reward yourself only for following your process, not for making money. The goal isn't to kill emotion, it's to interrupt impulsive loops. Reflection: do your red trades come in streaks? Are you trying to win back control or just win back dopamine? Comment book if you felt the slot machine effect take over. Insight 5. The identity hijack. This is the most dangerous part of FOMO. Not the losses, not the missed trades, but what it does to your identity. Let me explain. There's a hidden belief that poisons your trading silently. If I'm not winning, I'm not a real trader. You may not say it aloud, but every time you see someone else post massive gain sand, you're sitting flat or red. That belief whispers, you're behind, you're fake, you need to prove yourself. And that's when you force trades. Not because the setup is valid, but because your ego is under attack. This is called identity-based FOMO, and it's rooted in something psychologists call imposter syndrome, under performance pressure. A real example. Ella was a disciplined swing trader. She followed her system, had a 52% win rate, and averaged 3.1 R per winner. Then she got funded. Suddenly, she felt she had to impress the firm. Post results. Be the real deal. Within 3 weeks, she broke her system. Traded styles that weren't hers, started scalping mid-trend. Her account went from plus 8% to 19%. Why? Because she let her identity get hijacked. The neuroscience. When we feel our self-image threatened, the anterior cingulate cortex lights up the region tied to pain from social exclusion. So the brain looks for quick ways to resolve the discomfort. Trading something feels like a way to reclaim status, but it usually leads to deeper shame. The fix? Identity separation. Write this down. I am not my P. L. I am my process. Journal your trader identity traits. Calm, patient, data-driven, then rate each day how you embodied them. End each week with one identity affirmation, not a performance recap. Because consistency doesn't come from pressure. It comes from alignment. Reflection. Have you ever taken a trade just to prove you were still a trader? Just to feel in control again? Drop a brain in the comments if this one hit deep. Insight 6. The overtrading loop. This is the one that almost no one escapes until they hit bottom. The overtrading loop looks like this. You miss one trade, feel behind, you take the next setup early, it fails, you revenge trade to make it back, more losses. Now, you're emotional, chasing anything that moves. You don't realize it, but by trade 4, you're no longer trading your edge, you're trading your state. And here's the kicker. The more trades you take, the more likely you are to feel FOMO again, because each trade becomes a new trigger for comparison, doubt, and fear. The science. A research team in Berlin found that each consecutive trade without a break increases cortisol by up to 18%. That's fight or flight mode. You're trying to make rational decisions while flooded with primal hormones. A story you need to hear. A trader named Ben used to take 9-12 trades per day. His win rate, 34%. Then he made one shift, a 2-trade maximum rule, no matter what. He logged every urge to enter after the limit but didn't act on it. After 14 days, his win rate jumped to 61%. His R multiple tripled. Why? Because discipline created clarity, and clarity revealed his actual edge. The fix? The overtrading breaker? Set a firm max. 2 trades, day, adjust to your strategy. Every extra urge goes into a shadow journal with time, emotion, setup, review weekly. How many of those almost trades would have worked? Most won't. Reflection. How many losses came not from your system, but from refusing to stop? Comment. Stop if you're ready to build your breaker. Climax. Let me ask you something. What if FOMO isn't a weakness, but a warning? What if every impulsive click, every jealous scroll, every late entry isn't proof that you're undisciplined, but evidence that your nervous system is under attack? Because that's the truth. FOMO isn't laziness. It's your brain crying out, I'm overwhelmed, I'm hijacked, I don't feel safe. And it's not your fault. Think about it. We evolved to survive in tribes of 150 people. Now we're exposed to 500 successes per day. And our brain can't distinguish between a threat to our capital and a threat to our status as a trader. That's why discipline alone isn't enough. You need compassion. You need to understand that when you break your rules, you're not stupid. You're responding to a hijack. But the moment you recognize the pattern, name it, track it, neutralize it, that's the moment you take the wheel back. This is the turning point. You're no longer the passenger in your trading. You're the pilot. And that's when real consistency begins. Not from perfection, from pattern interruption. Let this be your new mantra. I don't need to feel in control. I just need to follow the plan. Say it out loud. Write it down. Etch it into your brain. Because your edge begins the moment FOMO ends. Let's wrap this up with a truth you need to remember. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your habits. Every FOMO impulse is a test, not of your intelligence, not of your system, but of your identity and your habits, of your ability to pause, to choose principle over panic. Because in the moment, it never feels like a big decision. Just one trade, one scroll, one quick entry. But those moments compound. If you've made it this far in the video, it means you're not just looking for another edge. You're building a different kind of brain. You're not a casual trader. You're an architect of process, of resilience, of identity. So here's your challenge. Before your next session, pick one of the 6 rewires from today's video and implement it immediately. Not tomorrow, not after backtesting. Today, just one shift. One brick in the new foundation. Maybe it's the dopamine fast before market open. Maybe it's the 2-trade max rule. Maybe it's journaling every trade urge you don't take. Or maybe it's rating your trader identity traits. Patience, calm, decisiveness. Whatever you choose, stick with it for 7 days. Journal the urges. Watch your reactions. Track your state, not just your stats. Because when you track your mind, you control your money. And if this video gave you value, here's how you can stay in the loop. Subscribe for weekly rewires that go deeper than any trading book. Like this video if it called you out and called you forward. Comment the one insight that hit hardest and how you'll apply it. Share this with a trader who's been stuck in the spiral. Be their pattern break. We're not here to hype up setups. We're here to upgrade psychology. This is Disciplined Trades. This is your edge. Next up, I'll walk you through my full journaling system, the one that stopped me from taking 3 revenge trades in a single afternoon and helped me find clarity mid-chaos. But for now, thank you for watching. Thank you for growing. Thank you for choosing mastery over madness. The market doesn't reward speed, it rewards clarity. Stay sharp, stay grounded, and I'll see you in the next one.